I guess I'll move the minutes as presented.
Okay.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So we will dispense with the director's report.
Temporarily.
Oh, wait, I don't,
Okay.
I sent you guys the agenda, but then I must have closed it or something. So that wasn't smart.
The
Okay.
treasurer's report's next, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then treasurer.
Yes.
Okay, so since the last meeting, we spent money on books and videos and 4 subscriptions to magazines, some supplies. We paid the usual monthly bills for cleaning, water and sewer. We paid 2 electric bills. We paid 1 regular telephone bill but 2 bills for the fire alarm phone line. Now, somewhere along the way, the name on that fire alarm bill was changed to the Ashland Town Library. I don't know who did that, but
Okay.
so it's in our name now.
Okay.
Unusual expenses. We spent $240 on building maintenance, 120 as we voted on last time for the repair to the roof.
The roof. Mm-hmm.
And another 120 to have Pemmy River Fuels come and for the thermostat, which turned out to be batteries that we didn't know we had. And
Okay.
it's a very expensive little excursion on our part for us. Nothing much. We also spent some money on supplies for the Little Free Pantry and transferred $18.50 from donations for that because there's money in the donations account specifically for the Little Free Pantry. And we have received $50 in patron fees, but there's not much on the income side.
I didn't realize that the Little Free Pantry was still going on.
Yeah, they have stuff out on the front porch now.
Oh.
Yeah. So they restocked a bit.
Oh, good.
Lisa, do you need anything for the Little Free Pantry?
Oh, here comes Sarah. Here comes Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
Does the Little Free Pantry need anything?
I believe Terry put some things in it the other day. You know, it probably should run on donations, right? We had been trying to just put things out there at this point in time that wouldn't freeze.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, like no canned goods and stuff are out there.
Right. Right.
But I think we're getting beyond the point where we have to worry about stuff freezing out there.
Okay.
But this, at least this way, people could, because the building wasn't open for people to come in and get it, you know, they were able to get stuff on the front porch.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think that's been going well.
Well, let me know if you know, I mean, in terms of donations.
It would certainly be appropriate and appreciated to have some donations, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, but nothing in particular that you feel like you need.
No, I just think the regular things. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, Sarah.
Okay.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
I'm having some internet difficulties. I can get on with my phone, but not on my laptop.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why.
Oh, shoot. That reminds me. Somebody gave me a microphone, which was supposed to make my sound better. I forgot about it.
All right, so far.
Yes. Yeah, been.
Thanks. Well, why don't we finish up the treasurer's report and then we'll go back to Sarah for the director's report.
Yes.
Is that okay?
That sounds good.
Well, I think I'm done. Yeah, I think the items, other items
Yeah.
are in the new business.
Okay.
We have a lot.
We do.
Yeah, okay, because right, questions about those, the checks, the 120.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll figure all that out.
Okay.
Okay, Sarah.
Okay. The state report has been completed and submitted to the state. We received a letter from Guilford Well wanting to know if we would like them to come do something with the irrigation system. Let's see. United Safety Services will be in the library next week to inspect the fire extinguishers.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Follett, that's our ILS and hosted service, has just announced that they're going to have a 2% increase in the hosted fee this year.
That won't be very much, I don't think.
No, I don't think it will be. I don't think it will
Okay.
to a whole lot. I spoke with Craig about some of the building maintenance issues we had talked about, the gap underneath the porch door and the problem with ice buildup on the ramp. He said he could take care of the front porch issue. He did notice that the door is not, it's a storm door, not intended to be, an exterior door. There's some
Right.
issues. It looks like water has gotten in on the porch floor, and at the bottom, about a 1-inch gap. It's sort of pulling away. He took a look at the windows in the children's room while he was there, so we can't close them or lock them. He thinks he can get new latches and get those closed and secured for us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They are pulling away. I don't know if it's the wall pulling from the window frame or the window frame. Either way, there's a gap. They need some work, but at least they'll be secured.
Okay.
He can remove the large broken items that are upstairs.
Oh, good.
I showed him the horsehair plaster falling down. And he said they can come take all that out and put up sheetrock.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
wow. Okay.
I was really impressed. I did not expect that they would be able to do so much for us.
There was so many. Wow.
Yes. I showed him the water damage from the leaking roof upstairs, and they can also take care of that, scrape off the paint that's peeling and repaint it.
Wow.
As for the ramp, he felt that no matter what we did, we're going to continue to have an ice buildup problem.
Okay.
He said that they can build a new ramp, and that the ramp we have is basically on backwards. There's no reason for it to be facing, instead of facing the walkway, it's facing the leak. And no matter what we do with that, the way the roof line is, it's going to be a problem. So
Right.
if they can build a new ramp, they might even be able to do something with that walkway. He did notice right away that it does not meet the requirement. It's much too steep.
Right.
And it's so narrow too. Yeah.
Yes, and no rail on the walkway. He restated his offer to add some parking for us. And as we were standing outside, and because he was indicating parking could go by the fence, in the area kind of where the shed is, have a walkway from parking, which would be completely level. That would be a huge improvement.
But isn't
he-
that where the addition would go?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
we'll have to-
also mentioned the addition. He said, when we're ready to do that, to give them a call and DPW can do the site work.
Oh, wow.
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
The whole, yeah.
ordinarily supportive.
Right. Yes.
Very nice.
Great.
And so that's all, like, they don't charge it back to us. It's just part of their work.
And, I would imagine we would need to buy some materials.
Materials. I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
I had a question about that desk upstairs. I don't actually, can they actually get it down the stairways? I mean.
Well, he asked me half jokingly if they built the second floor around the desk.
Yeah. I
Because
think they did.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Is that the
don't
desk
know.
in the office area? Is
Yeah,
that- Okay.
it has broken drawers.
Oh,
Um,
if it's broken, I would say just take it apart.
well, I did tell him, I said, I don't know what you would need to do. If you have a saw or something, go ahead and get it out any way you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, But
I do think
yeah,
that-
it's pretty big. I don't know how it got upstairs.
I think before they enclose the stairway.
Probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Let's see what else do I have. So I had forwarded the email to you about the time off request form from the town office.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I have never seen that form before.
No.
And we,
I think the primary thing is the permission, the one aspect of that town form is the permission or sign off. That's our business. I
Yeah.
would say, obviously they keep track of particular days, I assume, numbers of days.
They do, and
That's
it's on the pay stub, so the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
employee will have that as
Yeah.
well.
But as far as sign off authorization, that I don't see that where that needs to go to them. That should be that's our internal process.
Well, don't they have to know about our decision? I mean, isn't that what they're trying to?
Well, if we send the,
When we send payroll, we would indicate if it's
Right.
their regular hours or
yeah.
vacation.
Well, it's not a bad idea to have a record of that. I don't know if that particular form is necessary, but somewhere there should be a record, besides the paycheck, I think that, these hours were authorized by the library director.
We could
We-
come up with our own form if you would like to do that.
Well, yeah, or something, just a
Mhm.
record. I mean, right now you just do it sort of casually, right? If you just add it to the payroll or,
Yes, well, staff will let me know
Mhm, mhm.
when they're taking time off, whether they'd like to use vacation time
okay.
for that or not.
Okay, yeah.
well, so if you had either a spreadsheet or even a notebook where you were keeping track, right? I mean, I don't think it needs to be a stack of forms, right?
Right, it's written on the calendar at the circulation desk.
Mm.
Because people
Okay.
need, would like to know who's getting time off when to
Sure.
schedule vacations, or people want to know who they're working with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When
Mm.
you send payroll over to the office, do you put everybody's time on one sheet that goes to the office?
Everybody has their own sheet,
Okay,
and it's the form that the town office provided to us that
okay.
they prefer we use.
So this time off sheet would be attached to that form? Is that what they want or accompany it? or-
I don't know. All I know is what was in the email.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, we, I don't think anybody responded, right, to her yet.
I don't think so. I don't think we did.
No, I let her know that we have our own policies and that I think something to the effect of, I would let the library trustees know.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Do you have your hand up, Kathleen?
Yes, I think this might have to do with the auditor's report. That they wanted checks and balances, 2 signatures on every document, every piece of paper that came to the office. That was my take when I went through the auditor's report, that they wanted double signatures and basically everything documented, which of course is never a bad idea.
Mhm.
But call Catherine directly and ask her any questions. She should be able to
Mhm.
tell you that, but said, I believe it's in response to the auditor's report that I still have sitting here somewhere.
Okay.
Um,
I think, and we've mentioned
If
to
anybody
her.
wants to.
Yeah, no. We've mentioned to her before that we have our own policies and procedures. And I know, Sarah, I know we,
Aware of that, what
Yeah.
they encompass.
yeah, and I know, Sarah, you talked to her when there was an issue with keeping track of sick days or sick leave or something. I can't remember what it was.
Vacation time.
Vacation
being
time.
carried
That's
over
what it-
or something.
That's what it
yes.
was. Yeah.
Yep.
I think, echoing what David said, I think it would be a good idea to somewhere in our records to have that information other than just on the desk calendar.
Yep.
Something to keep that in. But again, she just since they are simply doing payroll for us, she just needs to know the hours and what days are off, just as you said you put on the time cards. But I don't think she needs to know, as long as we have documentation within our own system of what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my opinion.
And then but she gets that when everybody sends their time card in, it's on the time card.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you initial the time cards when they go over?
We used to sign, but since COVID, things are just kind
Oh,
of
that's right.
mailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there would be 2 signatures, my signature and the employee's
And the employee.
signature.
Okay. Normally. Okay.
Already, so there would already, in a sense, be signing that they know that they're using vacation time.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So Sarah, go ahead, David.
So there is a record. Do you keep a copy of of those time records or?
Oh, yeah, I have all of them. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, so what
I
do
don't
we-
mind doing, a separate, I don't know, as Alice said, a spreadsheet, or we want to sign something, that's fine. I kind of agree with Mardine that would be for our records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just as long as when the time cards go to her, that she knows work time versus vacation time versus sick time, or whatever the category is
You don't have,
for the hours. That's what she needs to know. Yeah.
Right.
And maybe just in a communication with her to clarify with her that we do have records, we do have our internal records. And generally, as you said, with time cards, there's 2 signatures and so on.
hmm.
So do we need to tell her anything else at this point, or Sarah, you told her that we keep track of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if the auditors are asking for documents, I don't know. I mean, what do we do? I mean, 'cause-
Well, they weren't asking for documents, were they?
well, they're asking for something signed and whatever this time card, this thing was supposed to be. It's a document saying, oh, this is legitimate use of vacation time, or whatever.
But the auditors also ask for our records, don't they, David? Part of the process is auditing the library records.
Yeah, the records I bring to them are my records. They don't include
Right.
the payroll records.
Yeah,
I don't-
Okay.
Unless, Sarah, you've been giving them
Hmm,
copies of your payroll records. I have not.
yeah.
No, but the town, they get those from the town office. I did have a conversation with an auditor, but he didn't ask
Okay.
anything about vacation time.
Okay.
Okay.
He did ask me a series of questions.
I was just looking for your email, Sarah, and I haven't found it yet. So just to clarify what, if anything, we need to do at this point. It sounds like we don't need to do anything at this point, other than you starting to keep.
I think we're good. Do you want me to make a form and we'll just use it and keep it for our own records?
Wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, if it's
Hmm.
not too much trouble, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh,
Okay.
Mhm, yeah. And then maybe just let her know that we do have records of X, Y, and Z,
Okay,
so that if she has any questions, yeah.
all right. Sounds good. And that way, if the auditors would like to see them,
Mhm.
Okay.
we'll be all set.
Okay.
Sounds good. I had asked David about the Ashland plates. We have the library plates from the 125th anniversary of the library. There are 4 other plates available.
Mm.
They're $10 each, and I was wondering if the library could purchase them.
From the
From
historical.
Historical Society.
From the Historical Society, yeah,
Oh,
not from
Okay.
David. Well, kind of.
I was in this awkward position of being the treasurer for the library and the president of the historical society. And essentially
We don't have them, and I think we should.
Oh,
I- I think that's a good idea. What, are they from different years?
Well, there's a
Or time
centennial
periods?
plate, the 150th anniversary plate, there's a Whipple House plate, and there is a high school plate.
Oh,
There-
okay.
There was another one for the town hall, but those were sold out at the 125th anniversary.
Ah,
I think the Baptist church had a plate too, if you want to make,
hmm,
the only other one I can think of. But
Hmm.
we have 4 of the 5 or 6 we don't have. Sarah's setting up a little display in that china cabinet upstairs.
oh,
Yeah, there's
good.
a china cabinet, and it has the little groove to stand the plates up in.
Okay,
I have a library plate in there now. I was aware that there were other plates, but I didn't know what they were exactly. But I just think it would be nice to have those on display at the library.
good idea. Yes.
do we need to vote?
Is it a consensus? I think as long as,
Okay.
make it,
I
just make a record that.
I
you know,
agree. Yes.
Okay.
I'll note that in the minutes.
Is it all right
Okay.
with you, Alice?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, good.
Should we do a new plate for 150th? I guess nothing's changed.
Not really.
Just change the date.
Don't we still have some plates left over from the 125th? We could
We
sell
do.
them.
Yeah, some people might want them.
Mhm.
Be an opportunity to get rid.
Should we try to do that? Should we put it on Facebook or something?
There aren't
Yeah.
many. Is it 4 or 5? That's all I see.
Oh, okay.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
a ton, but there are a few.
Mhm. Okay,
They might make a nice gift for volunteers or something.
yeah.
Good idea.
Mhm. Okay,
Also, we had purchased hands-free soap dispenser and paper towel dispenser with the grant funds that
Mhm.
we got through the town. Ray Mason and Lisa Rollins put those up for us.
Oh, wow.
So the final-
Oh.
The bathroom wall, I don't know, there aren't any studs in it.
Probably
So-
not.
Just drywall. So
Mhm.
they mounted it on a piece of wood that was painted. It looks very nice, but it's
Okay, great.
gonna fall out of the wall now.
Thank you, Lisa and Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. We wanted it to look nice and
Mhm.
stuff, so. And it was kind of a pain because there isn't a whole lot to attach to. It had to
I
be
can
attached
imagine.
to wood before
Yeah.
it could go on to the sheetrock, or else it
Mhm.
was just gonna end up on the floor. But you're welcome.
Thank you.
Great.
And lastly, I would like to talk about opening the library again by appointment.
Ah,
Okay.
Doing the same thing we did last fall.
mm-hmm.
Do we know how many cases Ashland has right now?
I
80
think it's
something.
1 to 4.
Well, in active cases, but 80 something have been infected at one point or another.
Right. But it's in active cases, it's the between 1 and 4. And it was several days ago, there was one new, and I haven't seen any change for a while since then. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 0 sometime last week.
it was
so
0 for a
probably-
while. Yes. Yeah. I think it's time to
Hmm.
start kind of an opening process.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
would agree.
And we'll, as always, we play it by ear.
Right.
Mhm.
Staff is all on board.
Yes, we are eager to get going.
Okay.
It'd be nice to have people in the building.
Yes, it would.
So if you are all right with it, we can start Monday.
Sure.
All right, great.
Will you still do the books on the back porch?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
We'll continue with the pickup
Okay.
for as long as it's needed.
Mhm. Have you seen any appreciable decrease or increase in that? Or is it stayed about the same?
I would say it's decreased since last summer,
Mhm.
but I mean, some of it's seasonal.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
hard to say.
Mhm.
I think if people can get inside and browse,
Yeah.
Mhm.
uh,
Yes.
they're gonna really like
Mhm.
that, then
Mhm.
our circulation numbers will go up.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Could you send me the info for the newspaper?
Sure.
I need it by Monday or so.
Okay. It's the same thing we're gonna be doing. We did last
Mhm. Mhm.
November.
I
Yeah.
can remember that.
Seems
So-
like a long time ago.
I know it does.
Just
It's-
one person or one family at a time, right?
Yeah, so one household or one,
Mhm.
whatever,
Mhm.
one group of people, small group, within reason.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
Extended family would be okay, even, I mean, it's up to them who they don't have to practice social distancing
Mhm. Mhm.
with.
Right. Right.
As long as they're practicing it from staff.
Right.
Yes. Mhm. Okay.
Wow. All right. That's
Yep,
big.
that does it
That's
for me.
That's a big step.
Yeah. we're excited.
Mhm.
It's been a year, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a year, aside from being open briefly in November
Mhm.
until it first started getting really scary.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, is that
Okay.
That, yep, sums it up for me.
okay? Thank you. Well, that's a lot. So, back to Craig, did we, maybe we'll talk about that when you talk about the building maintenance, what we want him to start on, or have you scheduled anything, Sarah?
No, I haven't scheduled anything with him. He asked if there was a key in the town office, and I said there should be. And he said that they would work around our hours to be sure that they're, not in the way when we're open.
Mhm.
And that he would be
Mhm.
communicating with me, and I did ask him, to let me know where he would be and what, so just so we can move things out of the way for him.
Mhm.
If there's
Mhm.
anything we could do to help him get ready.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I'm sure he will be communicating.
maybe we should prioritize a list or something so that, you know, like I don't, it sounds like he'll just start on the ramp one day, I don't know.
Oh,
That one's, I think, a more involved
yes.
Yes.
project.
Yes.
And we should really
Mhm.
probably have a conversation.
Mhm.
About where
Yeah.
the ramp will be. Yeah.
Right, about where the ramp will be and the walkway, and can we get a railing, and
Mhm. Mhm.
that one's more involved.
That is.
Securing the windows in the children's room, I mean, that's a small thing, and
Mhm.
if he just wanted to come in and do that, that would be great.
Mhm.
And removing the large broken items and work upstairs seems to be that wouldn't be a problem, right?
Mhm.
No, not a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Mhm. And then that moving some of those things out from upstairs then gives you more space to do what you want to do up there.
Yes,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's been wonderful to
Mhm.
have access to those rooms that were locked for so long.
Oh, yes.
We've gotten a lot of work done upstairs.
Mhm.
I bet.
I'm anxious to see all that sometime.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to have people in so they can see.
Yes. Yes.
You have a key, you just go there.
I
when
know.
you're not there.
Call and make an appointment. Oh, and Craig did offer to take the door off at the top of the stairs, because of course you can't have like two people walking up there at the
Up and-
same time, because the door closes, and then
Right.
you're trying to open the door and get around the door, and it's
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
awkward.
Yeah.
Do we have to talk to the fire chief or anybody about that, removing that door?
We do. I did tell him that. I said Steve Heath will be stopping by at some point.
Okay.
We'll have to get the
Mhm.
final okay now that
Mhm.
we have a sprinkler system.
Right. Okay.
Has anybody ever tried the sprinkler system?
I don't think. What do you mean, try it?
Does it work? How do you know it works?
Well, I don't think we want to
No. You
What
better
if-
have
how
a
do they
wet
inspect the sprinkler
dry
system?
back ready, David.
And a big
How do you
budget to
know-
replace materials.
Right.
But how do they know it works? I mean, it's just a pipe. I mean, I don't know how you inspect one thing till if it's working.
You'll have to ask Steve. Steve,
don't
he's
know.
You're not allowed to try it out though, David.
No.
So are we okay with Sarah kind of working with Craig on these little jobs and
Sure. I
Yes,
think what
yes.
she's named is so far fine, yeah.
Yes.
the
Mhm.
clerk of the
Yeah.
works on this?
But the ramp is the real question, how it's gonna be designed and
Yeah.
how you
I
get to the
hope
ramp.
that could maybe have a quick meeting with him sometime during his workday when he gets
Mhm.
ready,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and talk about what the approach of the ramp
Mhm.
would be, and the walkway and all that.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
though this is, free in quotation marks, is this something we want to take on when we're talking about other major renovations? That might be something we want to consider a little more before they go ahead and build a whole new ramp.
Yeah, I don't, even if we,
Mhm.
just for 1 year though.
Yeah.
um,
You think it's
Mhm.
especially, people have a really hard time getting in the building.
They do. Yes.
There's
Okay.
just no easy way.
Mhm.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. But I can see that being a late spring, early summer project.
I
Not
could
yet.
see that too.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
really, I mean, it'd be some pressure treated wood.
If you can find it and you can afford it, it's tripled in price since last year.
Yes, it
Really?
has.
Instituted.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of building supplies have. Yeah.
Okay. I had put Kathleen's application request to be an alternate trustee way down at the bottom, but do we want to do this? So we're not kind of waiting till the end for that.
I
I
can
think-
wait if it's on the bottom of the list.
Whenever you want to do it, Alice.
David, what do you think? About the process.
Well, the process, if I read the law correctly, we're just going to make a recommendation to the selectmen, correctly?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do have the RSA here if we need to put it up.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But it is, as David said, we make a recommendation to the select board for the appointment.
Okay.
And it's a 1-year term, if I remember.
Yes, 1 year at a time.
Okay. So are we ready to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Do we need a motion and a vote?
I think, yes, to put
Okay.
in the minutes.
I will make a motion to request to the Board of Selectmen that they appoint Kathleen DeWolf as an alternate library trustee for 1 year.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good.
So
So,
their next meeting, the select board's next meeting is April 3rd. The next regular meeting is April 3rd. So we should have something in writing for them before that meeting so they can put it on the agenda.
okay, do we need to send a letter
I would say probably a letter, yes.
just to the chair or all of the?
Address it to the select board and send it to each one and to the town manager's email.
Just all email?
Yeah.
Okay,
Should be a paper copy somewhere, but
Yeah. Alice, I'll get all the email addresses to you.
oh, okay, thanks. And then do one paper copy, David?
should be in our file somewhere.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for volunteering, Kathleen.
Well, I hope maybe I can liaise with Craig, because he has, I like saying that word. That some of the things that he mentioned to Sarah, he had mentioned to me. And I thought, what the heck?
Sure.
If he has the time and the manpower. It's a town-owned building. I did notice last week, I believe, 2 of them were up on the roof of the Booster Club doing something with shingle repair or replacement or something, so.
Mm.
Wow. So
That's
we could
great.
have roof work done and not paid all this money?
Alice, don't get ahead of yourself now.
Not the whole roof,
But
I'm sure.
it is a new world for the library trustees.
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we'll go back to our old business. So we've got policy updates that we just keep there just in case there's anything. But I don't think there's anything at this time because we've got so much other stuff. Okay. So I just left the internet upgrade there just to get a progress report from Sarah. Has it been done?
No, I'm still waiting for an estimate from Spectrum.
Okay.
I call the guy twice a week.
Oh dear.
So we're just, I just leave a message twice a week.
Mhm.
If I had another option, I would explore it, but I think we're kind of stuck with Spectrum.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we just,
Progress.
yep.
I can give you his number. We can all call him.
Yeah.
We'll just keep calling.
All right. So building maintenance, we've talked a little bit about it, but my question was, and this is a bigger question about the trust, but will we be able to reimburse the library account for the $120 of the roofing bill?
My feeling this particular year, we started the year with an account of $15,000 in the checking account, over 15,000, which is the biggest we've ever started a year since I've been here. And probably, I don't know if Sarah recalls, it's probably the largest amount in living memory because of the wages we didn't pay last year, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
And we are not paying full wages yet. So I don't think we should bother to dip into the trust fund for $120 at this point.
Okay.
It's not like need the money unless something else comes along that's big, but
yeah, I get that, but I'm just, I was reading the warrant and, expenditures to repair and maintain the building and grounds. So how black and white do we want to make that?
Well, remember, we also have a building maintenance a general maintenance line in the budget.
In our budget. Right.
Yeah, that's one thing we have to talk about. Not what well, we'll talk about that, but
yeah.
So it was supposed to be 5,000, but I'm going to suggest it'll only be 3,200, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead, David.
So we can take money out of that line, and we'll actually at some point have to spend this 10,000, 15,000. We're down, still got $10,000 in the checking account, and we haven't actually taken any money from general expenses yet from the town.
Right.
So we're strangely enough have a lot of cash.
But at the same time, as thinking back to what Sarah was talking about in general, as far as obviously things that need to be fixed, but also being able to do some new things or change some things in the upstairs and other parts of the library. So I can see us during the year being able, with some of that extra money, be able to do some of these extra things. Like you've talked about file cabinets for upstairs, right, Sarah?
Yes, I have.
That's something we still need, I think we still need to do. So there are things like that, some extra things that do impact the services that we provide and the materials that we provide. There's some things that we could do, some of these extra things during the year.
Yes.
Right.
Yep, and we have a pretty ambitious wish list
Yes.
too. Speaking of upstairs, it would be nice to have security cameras. So when we are open to the public, we don't have to worry about trying to staff 2 floors with 2 people.
Right.
Chromebooks for patrons to
Mhm,
use in the library would be nice.
mhm,
So
yeah.
Is that something, I mean, the Chromebooks, well, we're not really open yet, so in a big way, so maybe wait on those. I mean,
we could get them now and staff could have a chance to use them and play around with them so that we know how they operate. We can help patrons use them.
Mhm.
I feel like, in some ways we're so used to operating on a very, tight budget that it's hard to think, what could we, what do we need? What, would help? Like even some furniture upstairs.
There isn't
Yep.
much space left for furniture, but
Well, I thought Sarah was kind of going to get rid of some of or wanted to.
I wanted to let the love seats go. If
Mhm,
we're gonna have like a book group or something in the meeting room,
mhm.
people really want to cuddle up on a love seat with a stranger.
Right.
They want their own chair. Everybody wants their own chair.
Yes. Mhm, yeah. And that would also be that room would also be a good place to have an extra stack of folding chairs in case there's a larger group up there where we don't have enough. We want some extra
Enough
seat.
seating, sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you have lots of options. It gives us
Mhm.
options.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
All right. Where were we?
Um,
We
the
got
$120 for the roof is where we started.
okay, the building maintenance.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's fine. I think at this point, not, but again, that's another conversation.
Mhm.
I
Like,
think we can draw from that fund at any time that we wish. So if you later in the year, you could decide that fee should be taken from the trust fund.
Mhm.
We're going to have to talk about with the trustees. They only meet quarterly to sign checks. So it's not like we're going to have immediate gratification with, and we also have that checking account, which is a little weird situation too.
Right.
well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, we have the checking account, and
We don't have the checking account.
We will have it.
No, well, here's the question.
Okay.
The trustees of trust funds are supposed to give out the money for specific purposes related to a trust, right? So how
Right.
can they give us a blank check essentially to the library trustees, just write any time we want to take it from their fund? Don't they have to approve those purchases or whatever expenditures? I mean, at least to determine whether they're appropriate. So I'm really unclear. I mean, that worked well when the Scribner trustees were the trustees of the trust funds. I mean,
Mhm.
they were the same people, but we now have divided authority essentially.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that checking account's going to work.
well, do they have veto power if the library trustees say we need $200 for the roof? Are they in a
Well,
position to say no?
Well, it depends on what you ask for. I mean, for the roof, sure. But what if we ask for something that wasn't immediately related to the building or grounds? Suppose we wanted to go buy a piece of furniture or something. Is that
Well, to me, that is the trust. There are two things we're talking about. We're talking about the trust and we're talking about the checking account that's coming over from the Scribners. Two things.
But it's the same money
the-
and it has the
I know
same
it's the-
restrictions on it.
I know. And that's why I think we have to be responsible for spending that money, whether it's from the trust fund that's invested or from the checking account where there is currently some money. We have to be, I think, very transparent, very responsible for what we spend that money for. And if we want to buy a couch, we don't do it out of the maintenance of the building and grounds. To me, that is not within that category. I would not even suggest taking money for a couch out of the trust.
I agree.
If we need to buy a couch and we don't have the money in our regular budget where we would normally take that, then we don't buy it.
Mhm.
We could buy it from donations or some. other
Right,
thing.
right, or any appropriate category.
Yes.
But I think we need to be, I think that's by the voters approving that warrant article, they have, in a sense, put trust in us that we will be responsible for spending that money appropriately for the purpose for which it's intended.
But the trustees of trust
agree.
funds have certain duties too. They're
Yes, they
supposed
do.
to, oversee these expenditures and make sure we're not withdrawing it for a purpose that's not appropriate.
Absolutely.
So, how do they do that if they just hand us a check account with $5,000 in it? How does this work? I don't know. That's what we have to figure out.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously we have to keep track of, and I don't know that there are X amount of dollars in that checking account. Whether
Right.
that checking account will continue after that current amount is spent, I don't know. That may be a decision we have to make. In the meantime, if we use any of the money that's in that checking account for the appropriate building and grounds category, I think we should keep a record of it so that if anyone asks, we can say, we used it appropriately. This is what the money was intended for.
Hmm.
Or do you take that money and put it back in the trust and not have a checking account anymore?
That's
Right.
another option.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
just be concerned about an emergency. We've had emergencies
Mhm.
before where we
Right.
had to call a plumber or there's, some issue with the building.
Mhm.
We may not be able to request that money quarterly. It might be something we need now.
Mhm.
$5,000 is a small amount of money. And of course, we would keep records and receipts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the purpose of that checking account, is to handle small emergencies as they come up.
Mhm.
Well, you have to remember the Scribner trustees were the trustees of trust funds, so they met
Mhm.
monthly and they could make those decisions, every
Right.
few weeks.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they have more flexibility than I think we do in this situation where we have divided authority.
Right.
So I'm really concerned about the legality of this whole checking account.
And I think that's an issue that when we meet with the trustees of trust funds, that is an issue. That's one of the key issues that we need to talk about.
Mhm.
So are you making a list of somebody who's going to be there Monday night? Is gonna, things that we do want answers for.
Yeah, it's the process, I think, is what we have to determine.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we need to fix something, do we go ahead and pay for it with our own bank accounts?
And then get
Then get-
reimbursed.
Get reimbursed every quarter for whatever we did. And, is that how it works? Or,
That sounds like a kind of a good plan.
Mhm.
now, there also is the question of emergency spending.
Mhm.
And will the trustees of the trust funds be willing to meet in an emergency to authorize something? Or at least soon after an emergency?
Mhm.
Yeah, how does it work? Without breaking the law.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm wondering about is things that the Scribner trustees paid for, like the oil, like the
Mhm.
fire, like those things. Are we now absorbing those and they're not coming out of the trust funds?
Well, they're in our budget,
Right.
budgeted
Mhm.
for them. They're in the town appropriation budget.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Fuel, oil, and the fire alarm.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And some maintenance funds too, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Mhm.
It would be, I think, inappropriate at this point to pay for the fuel out of the Scribner Trust.
Right. That's more like a utility as opposed to maintenance of the building. That's, to me, it's a different category. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the things the Scribner trustees did were not
Strictly,
strictly, yeah, like Christmas decorations. I mean, was that really maintenance of the building?
no.
I mean, it was
Mm-mm.
nice of them to do that, but is that real? You know, I don't know. We have to discuss with the pertinent trustees what they consider, in part, what they consider appropriate.
Mhm, mhm.
Which I'm sure there are borderline things that
Mhm.
we'll have to talk about
Mhm.
at this point.
Well, we're not coming up with any answers, but that's
No,
it's a process.
Yeah. Mhm.
All things we need to
Yeah.
figure out. So yeah, so for the trustees of the trust funds, you know, that checking account is a big issue,
Mhm.
it says.
Right. Right.
Um, and are there other um bills, things that we need to transfer over that we haven't yet?
I think there are
Bill?
probably several accounts.
What do you mean?
What
Like
a,
the Scribners were paying that we need now to be billed.
direct. We need,
I've changed the name and mailing address on the fuel oil bill, that's Penny Fuel. And also Consolidated Communications, which is the phone line
mhm.
for the fire alarm. I have not seen a fire alarm bill yet.
Okay.
From the monitoring system?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's an annual bill. I don't know which part of the year it comes in. So,
Okay.
Okay, I don't
Mhm.
have an account number.
Mhm.
I was gonna wait until we received that before I contacted them to change the name and address.
okay.
That's another thing. I don't know how long the Scribner trustees post office box will be in use.
That's right.
Oh,
We want to
Mhm.
ensure that
Yeah. Yeah.
the bills
Well,
don't get returned.
So
Well,
we'll-
then we make sure we do a change of address with the post office.
And have it forwarded. We could possibly do, I think we can
Yeah.
ask the trustees of trust funds
Yeah.
if they
Mhm.
go to close the box, could we do it
Mhm.
well,
just in case?
Yeah.
the only other account we know of is the fire alarm monitoring thing. Is that,
That is all that I know of.
There's the irrigation, the sprinkler system
oh, Guilford
That's
Well.
right. I
that
haven't,
has to be changed. Yeah, we'll just have to make sure we have a list.
Yeah, could we try Amanda on that or something? I don't know who else to ask.
Well, Sarah, you said you got a letter from Guilford Well, right?
yes, I can
they-
contact
Yeah,
them.
and there may have been an account number or something on there.
And let them know that there's
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
address.
Mhm.
Who is the letter addressed to?
The Scribner trustees
Okay,
Mhm.
for the Scribner Memorial Library.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
If for anything, Sarah, you need any letter signed by the trustees to verify the change, if anyone questions, just let us know.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
all right. Well, we'll probably circle back to some of this, but the update on Ward Delia, was there one?
I sent him an email letting him know that our warrant articles passed. They were all approved by the voters. And that we were looking forward to working with him as we plan the future of the library. And I'm happy to give him a tour at his convenience.
Great.
Okay.
But I haven't heard back, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That made me remember. So we've got another 25,000 in our capital reserve. So what are we at now?
Where's? Can't see the town report around here. I thought I had it. It's over. 130 or something in that range.
Oh, okay.
It must be, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
50, but maybe I'm.
It was 130. Oh.
I don't remember.
Well, actually, the money from the 25,000 that just voted probably won't be transferred till the end of the year.
They
Oh.
do that in
Normal
December.
process.
Oh, okay.
So
Mhm.
Okay.
after the second tax billing is when they do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything on the 150th?
I've been doing some research, through the records and things, and so I'm working on it periodically.
Sarah, anything else that you have been thinking about in terms of publicity or getting patrons involved?
I think that will be easier when we're seeing people in person.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay.
Just talking to people on the phone right
Mhm.
now.
Should we get
Mhm.
special bookmarks made?
We could do that. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yes, yes.
That's an
I
easy
will
way.
work on that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hard to know when a celebration is appropriate. Thinking September, somewhere in there, late August or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's very hard to plan
It's, yeah.
It is, yeah. I mean,
public gathering. I don't know
Mhm.
how to do that right now either.
Yeah.
Bobby was saying, July 4th, we're all going to be able to celebrate, but
Mhm.
you never know.
No, I think another couple of months, we may begin to have a better idea of how things are going and what we might do. But David, I think you're probably closer like August or September. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Library apparently opened in February, so we've already missed that deadline.
Right.
Okay. August would be another half year.
So, the library was moved to Mrs. Scribner's house in September.
Oh,
So
It opened in September, yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
okay.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
Yes.
there,
Mm-hmm.
September 9th, I want to say.
11.
No, that's wrong. It's in the town report. It's in the centennial book, but it's wrong.
It's wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're confused with the date that Mrs. Scribner died on September 11th, which
Yes, she did. Well, I always thought they picked that date to honor her memory.
Oh.
yeah, but I thought I was just looking, why is that date the same? And then I went and looked at the newspaper and found that it opened on a Saturday, which is
Oh.
September 9th. It's not September 11th.
Oh,
They're actually
okay.
opening on Saturday, so it's like
Hmm.
so I don't know how it got enshrined in the centennial book as September 11th is the day of the opening, but clearly it's not that date.
Huh. Okay.
Frostbite Group.
Well, September 11th is a Saturday this year.
Oh, it'd be a good one anyway. So it was a Saturday. So
Yeah.
And nobody remembers from the
No.
they won't know.
Was
I'm
it,
correcting the history to put September 9th in there. So
was it 1936?
that's when she died.
Okay.
39 is when the library opened in the
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking, period costumes and cars and stuff. 1939, that'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So, wow, new business. So salary increase, because that was part of our budget.
right. But you may remember the selectman and the town manager reduced that. So what we got instead of the 3,000 that was needed for a $1 increase for everybody. We
Mhm.
got $1,662 in the salary line,
Okay.
which works out to 55 cents an hour instead of $1 an hour. But we could go a little higher, actually. It would, for another $600, we could go to 75, I think. It's about $150 in the wage line for every 5 cents. So we're now at 55, so another 600 would bring you to, and we have the money this year.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Mhm.
the only problem with raising rates, salaries is beyond what is appropriated is if you come to a default budget, you know.
Mhm.
But like I said, we got the money and we're not spending the salary line at anything like normal. So
No, not yet. No.
not yet, and probably not for a while yet.
Right.
So
And we're almost through the first quarter of the year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're 2.5 months in
Yeah, yeah.
what I reported in the salaries,
Mhm.
the report I sent you.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and that's only 17% of what's in the budget for salaries in those 2.5 months. So
Mhm.
we're falling behind. So, I mean, you can pick a number between 55 but you can go higher. We have 55 cents is in the budget,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't bother me if we went a little higher.
Well, we know the salaries are still pitifully low,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but is that fiscally responsible? I think, like you say, we have the money. We haven't been using the wages, and probably will be to a half a year if then
Mhm.
if in July we go back to normal hours.
Mhm.
right.
David, do you want to make a motion?
Oh, let's splurge. I'll propose 75 cents an hour increase.
I'll second that.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Yes. And starting when?
Oh, yes. The next pay period. When is that, Sarah?
Pay period begins on Sunday. Not that we usually work on Sunday, but
Right. So
so Monday.
it'll be
the
March
22nd, really.
22nd.
Yep.
Okay.
That, okay. So I'm trying to remember, there's a procedure. Do we have to sign that as trustees or can you just sign that? Or we had a new,
It's a form that signifies the
Uh,
change, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think at least one trustee needs to sign it.
Okay.
yeah, I used to just send them a letter and as a treasurer, but okay, you have a form, we'll sign it. Okay.
Mhm.
One of us
Yeah.
will.
Email us as soon as the forms are ready and one of us will come in.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I go in every day that the mail comes, so
Okay. Okay.
And that's all signatures that we need?
if it's just one, sure.
Okay.
Unless they
Okay.
ask for a majority or
I
something.
think, yeah, just one is.
What
It's
we
up
can,
to all
what we can do is submit a copy of the minutes to go along with the forms that shows the vote, the approval.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So our payment schedule, sorry.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. We have under general expenses, $28,816. You divide it by 3. We didn't do the first quarterly payment.
Mm-hmm.
They come up with $9,605.33. So I would just say 9,605. That'd be the beginning of April, July, and October. So that's the schedule I would like to propose.
Okay,
Okay,
that sounds good.
I think we need a vote.
Okay, I'll make a motion to request from the select board that a payment of $9,605 be made to the library at the beginning of April, July, and October.
Okay. I'll second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I could send the letter if you want.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, great. Um, let's see. So the budget category adjustments, David.
Right. Okay. One of the things the selectmen did was, and the town manager, was to reduce the general expenses by, okay, where is that piece of paper? Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, by $1,787 is what instead of doing, we went from 20,516 to 29,803. They just gave us a blanket $7,500. So the
Mhm.
difference is 1787,
Okay.
which has to come out of somewhere.
Mhm.
And if you look through the budget, there are very few lines that have 1787 in them. And the one that sort of stands out is the new line for general maintenance, which
Okay.
is $5,000.
Mhm.
So that would reduce it to 3213, that line. So that's where I'm suggesting we change the budget, our budget, to make it match the approved budget.
Okay.
Because that's the maintenance. We can, of course, go to the Scrivener Trust if we need more money for that,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't, most of the other lines were pretty much based on experience and past practice, and we didn't change many lines when we adopted the budget.
No, we didn't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and then the new lines are fire alarm and monitoring, and
Mhm.
the heat may be too low. We don't know yet, but
We don't know.
right, won't know until the end of the year.
Right.
So that's really the only place I can find that money and feel comfortable with.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would like to essentially reduce in the budget, at least, the general maintenance line to, Lord, I had a number here on a piece of paper that I don't seem to have in front of me. By the amount that the selectmen reduced the budget.
And that amount, the reduction amount was what, 1787?
Yes.
Okay. So so 5,000 minus 1787 is 3213.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
That's what 3213
Okay.
is the number I remember.
Okay.
So that would be my suggestion.
Well, I think that makes sense.
It does. Mm-hmm.
And, some of that is kind of maintenance stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So do we need a motion, or can we just agree that this is what we're doing?
Probably best to have a motion. Actually, while we're at it, can I just change that name of that line to maintenance?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We don't have any special maintenance.
No, general maintenance.
So
I
just,
think when I did these categories, I just took it from the general expenses and I just carried the word general down.
okay, that's all right.
Doesn't make any sense, but
So I would like to rename and reduce the general maintenance line to a maintenance line of 2013, $3,213. And I'll make that a motion.
I'll second.
And, okay, go ahead, Alice.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. One of the things that did happen, and I don't know if this is, we did add 800, the budget committee added $800 back for cleaning. So is that clear that that's where we will add $800 to cleaning? I don't know if that needs a vote. It's just want to have it on the record, I guess. And the other thing, I would like to suggest combining the two fire alarm accounts, one for fire alarm monitoring and one for the fire alarm phone line, into one fire alarm account.
Okay.
Because the fire alarm monitoring is apparently going to be one bill a year. Doesn't seem a lot of sense to separate it.
Yeah.
Is that all right with everybody?
That makes sense to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. Okay. Yeah.
993.
What?
Does that make it 993? We had 465 and 528.
No, I hadn't added it together.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it is.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
We've
Right.
combined them. Okay.
Yes, you're right. 993.
Okay.
So as far as the categories, that's what I have.
Okay.
So now that we agreed on what the categories are, I can do a report
Mhm.
next month that will compare it to
Okay.
the budget we've now agreed on. So.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
All right. That sounds good.
Yep.
So transferring all accounts to library name.
That's what we talked about just a minute ago.
Okay.
And you did say, Sarah, that you did Pemmy River Fuels?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You did Pemmy River Fuel and
Con-
the Consolidated Communications, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Phone line for the fire alarm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So we're just left with the fire alarm monitoring and the Guilford well. And
Mhm.
As far as I know, that's all there is, but
Mhm.
so Pemmy River does the annual tune-up of the boiler and things like that, or do we know?
I don't
Oh,
know.
no. Okay.
I would assume they would be the ones to do it. I would, but it's probably an extra charge. I don't know.
Well, I hire a different guy to do it.
Oh,
every year.
okay.
I mean, there are people around who just do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
former electricians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I
what.
don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but I thought Amanda said that she had Pemmy do it.
Okay.
Something.
I think so.
There was a discount to be on automatic delivery and to have them do the maintenance.
Okay.
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 Fine with me, as long as we get somebody showing
As
up.
long as it
every
gets
year.
done, right?
Yes, definitely.
What other sort of annual things would there be? I'm not thinking of anything.
Just the fire extinguisher inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, and if something else comes up, we'll
We'll find out.
hear it.
That's right.
So the Scribner Building and Park Trust, I feel like we've covered that and we know what we want to talk about Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mostly process. You got to get it right.
Right. Yeah. Process and timeline for any of the changes.
Amanda's email said something about Walter has some ideas about something. Now I can't remember what it said.
I don't remember.
And that might be in terms of investments, but I mean, that's their
Mhm.
bailiwick.
Yeah.
As to how they're going to invest.
Mhm.
See, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Ooh, 313. Let's see, what's that? Walter has some good ideas about handling the funds in the checking account.
Ah, okay.
So
There's what we want to talk about.
right.
Mhm.
And then we would also like to discuss how we handle requests for funds from the Board of Selectmen and now you. So,
Okay.
you know, I think they'll explain if we have a request, you know,
Mhm.
and does it make sense to request $120 like, you know, we've been talking about. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I can't make that. Okay. Tony Randall's correspondence. That was very interesting.
Yes. Obviously I contacted him. His timeline is
3 or 4 months.
3 to 4 months out. Let me see. Do I need to, let me just pull it up here. Do we want to go ahead and tell him to put us on the schedule?
I would say yes.
Okay, where's the money coming from? Treasurer has to ask.
I would say that would be a valid expense from the capital reserve fund or from our building fund.
I agree.
Building fund is kind of smallish, so
Right. Mhm.
It is? I thought it was.
11,000.
Yeah, and if we're talking 3 to 4,000,
Oh,
that would, yeah, put a little dent in it.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, then that's a good test for how we get funds from our capital reserve,
Mhm.
because that's trustees of the trust funds too, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
I just, Martine, you
Yeah.
said there were some paper plans from the early 1900s.
What I found one time, I don't know where it came from. I don't know whether Sarah sent it to us or there was I don't have it to put up on the screen, but there were two in one of our emails, either from Sarah or from Amanda. There was one dated 1912 and one dated 1923. Looked like copy of a part of a plan. Had you found those, Sarah?
I think David found them and gave them to me, and then I had.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's the Sanborn, probably the Sanborn fire insurance map.
Oh, okay. See, there
Okay.
was no edge information. Okay.
Okay, if that's
Okay.
what they were. Okay, that's not a survey.
Okay. No, I know it isn't. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No.
just, but I was wondering, I was looking at the tax map and it had a number, 17,600 square feet -S. Does that mean a survey, the -S?
I don't.
On
The
tax map?
dash S.
S.
I'll
There are
have
a
to
lot
look
of
at that
lots.
again. I don't know. I don't recall.
Is
And it
it-
was clear that it was an S.
Yeah, there are a lot of lots that have that on it, and some lots
Okay.
that just have, acreage or
Right.
square foot
Yeah.
without an S on it. So I don't know what
Okay.
the S means. Is it a guess? Is it
I don't know.
supposition? Yes for supposition? I don't know what.
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to ask somebody.
Yeah,
That may be something I ask Tony.
right. What does
Right.
it mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
Or maybe it's sky counting or
I don't know.
the aerial thing. They just do it from the aerial photo, try to figure out what the size is. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
I was looking when he said, as far as when he would want payment, that I don't know. That's a question I can ask him.
Right.
Obviously, he said, once I figure up a cost and you would like to move forward, I would just need a letter stating you would like me to move forward with the survey. So it doesn't look like there is money up front, but I will check on that with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, like if we needed to pay him, I mean, it doesn't sound like we could take it out of our building fund and then get reimbursed out of the capital reserve. That doesn't seem kosher.
Yeah. But I think,
yeah, well, the payment schedule is a question. So he's
Yeah,
done
so I-
stuff in the town before, so.
yeah. So I will ask him that. And if we can tie it in with when the trustees would be doing checks from the capital reserve funds, then we're, yeah.
Oh, good
Not a
idea.
problem. Yeah,
Mhm.
but that's a question I can ask. Do we want to tell him to go ahead and start whatever process, research, etc.?
I'm all for it.
Okay,
And
Do
I think we want the contours.
that's, he said they can be done later. And he said it's an added cost, but I don't know how much. Again, maybe we can ask when he starts to figure out the cost, give us the two options. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
There aren't too many contours. If it's like a 5-foot contour, there's hardly anything.
Yeah.
But the architects may need it.
It's yeah. Tony did say it could be done later.
Mhm.
So perhaps we should, when Ward shows up, and what does he need? I mean,
Mhm.
the place where he might put the addition is presumably the flat space.
Right. Right. Yeah. Mhm.
I think there's always site work. There's always dirt moving going,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and maybe this is a question we can just ask Ward.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
him we're
Mm-hmm.
getting Tony Randall to do a survey. What do you need?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to locate pipes and things like that? Or-
Well, he may do part of that. I don't know. Obviously, if it gets to the point of digging up the lot, obviously all the irrigation stuff will come out anyway. Who knows where all that is?
And, oh.
It's partly a guess.
I forgot when Sarah was talking about that before. What do we want to do with the sprinkler system? I'm off topic, but I didn't want us to forget. Do we want it to be working?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
We didn't use it. Well, the Scrivener trustees didn't turn it on at all last year.
Was it on the year before?
Possibly. It never worked properly.
Oh.
It was very dry. I mean, the lawn just dried up.
Crispy. Yeah.
It would have taken a lot of water to keep it green.
Yeah.
Well, should we put that like future things to talk about?
Yeah, on our next meeting,
Yeah,
maybe
Should
for that one.
probably find out where the lines are.
I wonder if Guilford Well has a plan of any kind. Of course, we don't know who put it in.
No.
Kath, Alice, just a minute ago, Kathleen had her hand up when we were talking about the survey and contours.
Oh,
Just say
sorry.
contours, Martine, you know the contours of the West Street, end of West Street. I know on my survey, they
Mhm.
use those contours for elevation.
Okay,
So it almost looks like the house could have been built on some fill. It's like on a little mound.
yeah,
Compared
I
to
don't know.
to the next door lot,
Oh, okay, yeah.
to the Dean lot. The Dean lot is close, it kind of slopes down towards the
Mm.
road.
Mhm.
There won't be contour maps like it shows
No.
my property from the PEMI. You can see
Oh,
the,
no.
the,
Yeah.
the,
You've got a
height.
very, yeah,
But I would think it, when you go to a building site and they have the transits out, I think it has to
Yeah.
do with how they determine how far they have to dig in order to, remember, there'll be a height restriction.
yeah, on a
and they
foundation
have-
and so on.
It's just,
Yeah,
when I saw that, I thought, ooh, that could add up quite a bit, but
yeah,
you're gonna do it once and done.
yeah, yeah. I'll
But-
still ask Tony about it to
Yeah,
get a
ask
sense.
them, why would they need it? And Lisa sent you a message about the service plan.
Yes, I just saw that. Yeah.
Just saw
of-
that.
Okay,
Mhm.
What service plan? I missed
For the
it.
For the furnace.
For the furnace.
okay, okay,
That's what Pemmy River Fuels? Yeah, okay.
okay. But
Um,
on the survey, I'll tell Tony to go ahead and start the process that we do want the survey. I'll ask him a little more, I'll try to get a little more sense of the contour cost. But,
Wouldn't it depend on how far apart the contours are? I mean,
right, it's, yeah. And obviously, if and when we do an addition, they're gonna have to figure that out when they start planning where to put it anyway. So maybe we can wait on that anyway.
and, I mean, I'm thinking,
Mhm.
contacting Ward would probably say, this is all part of what we do,
Yeah, could be, yeah,
getting ahead of the
Yeah.
game a little bit.
yeah, or the contractor, yeah,
I mean, just for us, it would be kind of good to have Tony do a survey, and if that saves work from
Mhm.
Ward, fine. If not, it doesn't.
I'll try to get a little more information or a sense of the cost on that part.
And as far as the sprinkler goes, it just occurred to me, we probably don't want to spend any money on it at this point in time, because the whole thing might get dug up.
Even
Whether
if
we're going ahead with a building or just having Craig Moore put in parking spot.
parking, yeah,
So
yeah. It wouldn't be a bad idea sometime in the spring, just temporarily to go around and try to find all the sprinkler heads and put just a little flag by each one so we can get a sense of where they all are and how many there are.
oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's another topic.
I think
Or
that's
just
a project
turn
for a
it
bunch
on
of
and see
kids.
where they.
Some kids can run around the lawn and look.
We could do a maze.
Oh yeah, fun stuff.
Okay.
Right. And sorry I didn't see your hand, Kathleen. The thing was minimized and
No problem.
so our talking about space needs and priorities special meeting, I think that's a good idea, because obviously here we are,
Mhm.
going on almost 2 hours just taking care of other things. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
when we schedule the next,
Yeah.
maybe we'll schedule 2 meetings in April.
Mhm.
And
I think that'd be good.
we'll have heard from Ward, and
Mhm.
maybe that's something where it can be a listening session for him or something. I don't know, but perhaps. Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else that we have forgotten or that's come up since we've been here?
Alice,
Yes.
Walter Durock will be an excellent resource on discussing building plans.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he's an engineer. He has a degree in engineering and because of his work experience too.
Yeah, right, right.
So you might be able to glean some information from him. And
Okay.
don't tell anybody I said that.
Well, it's one of those things where is it time to get a subcommittee or a committee of people with some expertise that can help us, and he would be a good resource.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I think eventually we would also want a few members of the community who are patrons,
right.
users of the library. What do they want to see in the library?
Yep. Yeah.
Some libraries have like listening sessions for that kind of thing,
Mhm. Yeah.
or
Mhm.
surveys. And
Yeah.
Yes.
So our survey and our land report are getting a little old. And
Old. They are.
it's time
Mhm.
COVID to to survey our patrons, but
Mhm.
we should gather more information. So
Yeah.
listening Zooms might be a thing to do
Mhm. Mhm.
at this point.
well, we should have time this year eventually to talk to people in person. I had a couple of things. There's still a lot of stuff scattered around from Santa Claus and the lights in the basement. Martine, you were going to get
Oh, yes, I was, and I forgot. I was going to get some bins.
right. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I will get those.
if you could, that'd be great.
Yes. Yes.
And I have this other issue of the credit card versus the debit card, which apparently the auditors have some problems with debit cards, and we haven't heard from them directly. They haven't actually asked for our records yet. So
Ah,
as
okay.
far as I know, they haven't asked.
Okay. Yeah.
But some ways it would be better from my viewpoint, perhaps not from the staff's viewpoint, to just get one bill a month and pay it,
Mm-hmm.
rather than have all these debits.
Yeah,
Partly-
I think it's a
Yeah.
great,
Sarah, yeah.
I think it's a great idea, David. I agree. I think it would be easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon does that? I mean, could we do that? I mean, we get free shipping, I know at this point. Is it because we use a debit card or because we have a special account, or?
Because we usually wait a little longer for the shipping. If you spend over $50
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then choose the 7 to 10 day shipping.
So
it's-
that's,
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Frankly, Amazon is starting to drive me crazy. I mean, there was one a order of three items. I think it was 2 books and a video. They must have made 7 transactions out of that.
Oh,
It's just, they would credit it and then they debit it, and then they do it for 2 parts of it, and or the 2 books and the video and stuff. I mean, it was like it's absurd trying to follow the whole thing. And last month they were actually combining different orders into a credit, and I just couldn't follow it anymore. And so then I turned it over to the staff, and they try to figure it out. I don't know how long it takes them to do that, but I've been able to do it so far.
yeah. Mhm. But I can see the advantage of the credit card rather than the debit card. As you said, David, 1 bill a month. It would be better itemized, I would assume, than multiple debit card slips and so on. At least you'd have company names and so on.
Well, the debits and credits on the bank account are not itemized. I mean, the bank
Right.
statement. And
Mhm.
sometimes they match an order completely.
Yeah.
That's easy, but
Mhm.
often they're partial or part of an order. and
Right, right.
It's confusing, so.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, we were talking about, did we skip the part about the special meeting? Or when?
Well, I figure when we look at the calendar, we can
We'll
set
set up a date.
up 2 dates for April.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
for the end of May, March, I don't.
Mhm. Yeah. So David, did you want to make a recommendation on credit card versus debit card? Or,
So do we have credit cards of any sort or just the debit?
We just have a Staples card.
Right,
oh,
which is very
okay.
simple to use. They send us one bill and you
Right.
what it is, you know.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have a credit card.
I would like to suggest getting one and trying it out. See
Mhm.
whether it does work any better or not.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who you would go to or how you go about doing it, but
Do we know what kind of credit card the town uses?
oh, that's a thought to check with them.
Okay.
Mhm.
I could call Catherine.
Mhm.
All right,
That would give us a start.
just to get some information.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
where they're going with credit cards.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does Amazon have a credit card?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
you might be able to get a corporate business type credit card through Amazon.
We've got
Oh,
points and discounts and
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I have Amazon Prime and I get points,
you have to pay for that?
the free shipping, of course, Amazon Prime, movies and whatnot. That costs $115 a year. But but you can also get an Amazon card that's not tied to Prime.
Mhm.
Okay, Prime just gets you faster shipping or something like that, or?
Well, you get the free shipping with Prime and you get the free Prime Video
and
Mhm.
service.
I think too, right? I think you can get music.
Yeah, yeah.
They always tell me I'm not using all my Prime benefits, and I'm not.
Yeah, I would check just with the regular credit card as opposed to tied in with Prime, whether it's Amazon or somebody. But see what,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we want something. I don't know whether it's a corporate or business card, as something to ask Catherine about, I think.
They also have Smile, and Lisa probably can answer this. I tied my account to Smile, so every purchase I make, so much goes into the Ashland Town Library Smile account. It's not a lot, but
Hmm?
I buy all my cat food through Amazon, so there's something every month that's going into the Friends. Oh, that must be with the Friends of the Library.
Friends, yes.
Yeah, the friends.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'll start with Catherine and
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
what the town uses and finds work.
All right.
Okay.
So are we ready to look at meeting dates?
Look at dates, yes.
that week that spans the 2 months, the last of March and the 1st of April is pretty free on my calendar.
I've got one meeting on Monday night, the 29th, I mean. I have a meeting the 29th evening. That's the only one. I think that week.
I've got Tuesday and Thursday free.
Either would be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, do we want to do April Fools? I don't know.
Probably not.
Tempt the fates.
All right, so that Tuesday, that's not next week, right? That's a week. Okay,
The week after.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to do Tuesday, the 30th?
Sure. And is 6 still good for everybody?
Yes. And is this to talk about space needs, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And do we think we want to have a meeting without any guests in terms of, Ward or whoever it might be to talk about building things? Do we want to meet amongst ourselves, or do we want somebody there with some guidance?
I think we first need to get ourselves kind of in the same,
Okay.
going the same direction.
Or just to figure out where we're going and how we're gonna.
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's
I
not so
think,
much to make final decisions. It's to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
The process.
yeah, I think we need to, I don't think any outside people
Okay.
are, as far as Ward or anyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if we happen to hear from Ward and he was ready, I think that'd be okay. No?
Could be. I'm not so sure how organized we would be.
Right, I mean, yeah.
He's got all our documents, so he,
Yeah. Mhm.
But we were always talking about a building we were just gonna move into. It's not.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Now
mean,
we're looking at something very different.
right. We've talked a little bit about
Yeah.
the building and what we would do. So
Okay. Then regular meeting.
regular meeting, yeah. Tuesday the 20th.
That would normally be the Historical Society Board meeting night, so,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
The other nights that week?
Yeah, Thursday
Or
the 22nd.
that would work for me. Sarah, what about you?
That's Thursday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
That should be fine. Yep.
Okay. Kathleen?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay with you, David?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So March 30th and April 6th, March 30th and April 22nd.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Wow, we got a lot done. Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
And welcome, Kathleen. Thank you, Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Coming.
As somebody who has built before,
Welcome.
you're better off having what your wish list is before you meet with your builder or
Anybody.
architect.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can go around and around in circles because
yeah.
they want to take the direction from you
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
devise their plans.
Yeah.
They
Because
can always be changed, but,
absolutely. Yeah.
but
Yeah. I think we need to have a sense of what we absolutely want and what we absolutely don't want.
Yeah.
And then work in the middle there, figure out what
Yeah.
would work.
but at least
Yeah.
it's not a home. You're not
Yeah.
designing a kitchen, multiple bathrooms, bedrooms. It's gonna be a working area, so
Yeah.
that makes it a lot easier as far as square footage, you know, what size
Mhm.
bedrooms the kids are gonna get and
No,
how big the bathrooms are and what kind of, how many windows you want in each room, that type of stuff.
no.
So
Okay.
you can sit down with your plans and wow him, say, wow, you guys are really know what you're doing.
Well, it shouldn't be
And it
too
will
big.
save time and money too.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, he has experience with actually doing libraries, so.
Yes, yes.
I love the Molten Borough Library. Love it, love it, love it.
Is that one of his?
My
Yeah.
favorite.
Thought so.
Beautiful.
I thought it was same in Delia.
Could be. I know they've done few, yeah.
And I love Peas. Peas is great.
Yes.
They did
Mhm.
that, so.
Mhm.
He's in Molten Borough kind of have the same feel.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're similar. Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
a lot of open spaces.
Yes.
Plenty
Yeah.
of natural light.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
I just know when I walk in them, I go, oh,
I know, right?
library envy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Very much so. Very much so.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Are we adjourned?
I think so.